Hello, so this year I've got several students that want to build projects that need real-time or a real-time clock. And so I bought a few of them for the class, and I'm going to show how to hook it up here on this video. It's worthy of note that you can actually incorporate a real-time clock into these teensies. You can solder a crystal onto the bottom. I don't think you can do anything like that with the Uno. But these guys are super cheap and easy. Just slide in a battery. That's what is this, a 3032 battery, and have to set the time and you're ready to go. So when we look at this one, there's a few different ones out there, and let me focus in on this guy. So the one that I have now right here, you can see right there, is based, let's get this thing to, what the heck, there we go, is based on the 3231 chipset. Alright, the 3231 chipset. So we need to get the library for that particular chipset for us to be able to utilize it. And it's actually, there's a few of them out there, and it's super easy. So let's just start with that. So I'm going to go just grab a sketch. Here's a blank sketch. Go to Tools, go to Manage Library, and keep in mind, I've already installed it. I'll just show you which one I used, and you can just download it and install it from the library here. So you just search DS3231, and it should come along and show, here we go. And there's actually a few of them. I installed both of these, actually, but I like this one. Okay, this is the one that I'm going to be using for this demo here with all these different authors. It seems to have evolved a little bit more from the original, and it seems to work real well. So I'm gonna recommend this one to start with. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that out. And that being said, what we should do is know where to connect this device. You can see that I'm actually only going to be using 4 pins today: the SCL, the SDA, the VCC, and the ground. VCC and ground are going to be obvious. I'm just going to hook it up to the power and ground on this Teensy 3.5, which is what I'm going to use today. And let's look at the pins. So if we pull this up over here, so I'm using a 3.5 today. You can see that SCL and SDA are going to be on pins A5 and A4. If I was using a Teensy 3.2, it would be the exact same pins, A5 and A4. And of course on an Uno, it's going to be these two guys right up here labeled SDA and SCL cleverly. Okay, the top 2 pins. Any of these will work, so I'm going to set this aside. And let me open this up again so I can kind of see it. Slide this up so I don't make any mistakes. Alright, so let's get a handle on our device here. Alright, you can see that I have the brown wire. Let me set this down so it's sort of more in focus. I have the brown wire in ground. I have the red wire in VCC. I have the orange wire in SDA and the yellow wire in SCL. Okay, so the brown, I'll start with ground first. And you can, on one of these boards, you can plug it into any available black pin. So I'll put it there. And, oops, look at me go. Grab the wrong one. Good thing I didn't plug in 2 of them. The brown, ground, in any of the available black pins. The red, okay, I'm at 5 volts, so I'm going to plug it in right there. And then I have these 2 pins again. I'm going to double check. The orange is SDA, and that makes it go to pin A4. Alright, so let me plug this guy in. The orange is going to go to A4, which is right there. And the yellow is going to go to A5. Okay. So I've got my real-time clock connected. And it's lit up, and we're ready to go. So let me go ahead and pull up that simple sketch, because what we're going to do is we're going to find the examples that should have been installed with the library. So I'm going to go to Examples. I'm going to scroll down. Actually, I'm going to move this up so you can see which one I'm going to choose. I'm going to File, Examples, and I'm going all the way down here to this DS3231. there's two of them I want for this demonstration. I want set, and then, so I'll set that one aside. The other one I'm going to want file examples is, I think it's just called now. Yep, now. Okay, so we've got these two sketches we're going to be using. I'm going to get that blank sketch out of the way. And we'll start with set. Move this over a little bit so you can kind of see it. Okay, so set works just great the way it is. It's super important to remember this format. In fact, I'll have it sitting here next to the serial window when I do it. It has to be put in this format. Notice that lowercase w in the middle. It's worth note that the author of this library is looking for a 2-character year, or 2-digit year, a 2-digit month, and of course a 2-digit date, but he only wants 1 digit for the day of the week. Okay, so I'm assuming that Sunday is going to be 1, 2, and 3. It's you can see that it's actually a 6 or a 7, carding 0, 7-element array. So maybe I should start with Sunday being 0. And then we got 2 days, or 2 digits for the hour, on and on. So everything's looking for 2, with the exception of that particular one right there, which is looking for a single digit. Okay? So if I run this, and I've already got a serial window open. Okay, it's uploaded. We have to put it in this format. Notice the X too. He is actually looking for, whoever the author of this is looking for, a terminating character. So once it gets a terminating character, it'll echo back our variable. So it's currently the year 2021. The month is April. The date is the 27th. Now we have to go with the day of the week. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 0, 1, 2. I'll put it as 2. And then we've got the hour. It's currently 9 in the morning, 09. It is 21 minutes after the hour. And I have no idea on the seconds, so I'll split it in the middle and I'll say 30 seconds. And then my X. Okay? So if we did it right, we should, of course it'll echo back, and we should have, I think, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 characters. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 characters, and our terminating X. So I think we're good. So now let's go ahead and click on that other app that was already built in. And, you know, I'm actually going to change the baud rate down to 9600. I tend to usually work there. And I think everything else is going to be just loaded. We'll play with it for a minute after I get it loaded. And let's see what happens. Okay, and there you go. You can see that it's echoing back the time and this piece of information about Unix time. So let's play with these variables for just a minute, and then we'll be done. I'm going to go ahead and comment this out. And what I want my students to know is that this is the information here that's going to gather the pertinent information. If I reload this, of course we're going to get rid of this since midnight thing, 1970, and we'll simply get the date and time every second. Okay. So if I actually wanted to change this a little bit, I could create a variable. Let's just call it HR for hour, and I can make it equal to, and then I would simply copy this because it's going to be equal to the collection of that information from the library. Okay, so now I could replace this whole pile of information here with just HR. Okay, and we should see essentially no different. I'm anticipating that we'll get, you know, a 9. 923. Sure enough. So now we've put it in a format that we're more familiar with. So I could do that for all of these if I really wanted to. I can make another variable. Let's call it month. Let's just call it MF. All right, and it's going to be equal to this. And then if I want to, I can take this. Okay? So I can create all those variables that I need simply gathering the information right from the library. All right? And then I could run if statements or whatever else that I want to in the language that I'm already familiar with. So hopefully that was useful, and I will see you all again soon.